How's it going, internet? So it's been a little while since I've done a video, and so I figured I would catch you up on all of the painting I've been doing, which is not a lot, admittedly. Um, and this one's a little bit different because it's actually just going to go over all the painting I've done for one game system uh, over this past year, because I've been doing these little projects that haven't really made them like their way into videos. So I'm going to talk about them a little bit, sort of as a whole here, and then just kind of take this as an opportunity to show off one of my collections. So this is my Iron Warrior Legions Imperialis collection. Um, a small fraction of all the stuff I own, but it is all the stuff that I have painted up. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty proud with it, of it, that I was able to get all this done. Um, the army is like just like Iron Warriors in 28 millimeter. The black and silver and a lot of the details go on really quick, and then you find yourself just kind of stuck on the hazard stripes, and that always kills my motivation. So it's always tough for me to finish units of Iron Warriors because of that. I've got it down pretty well now, but especially on these little guys where it's hard to tape off the various panels that you're going to hazard stripe, it requires a lot of hand painting stripes, and it's not fun, and it sucks the joy out of painting for me. So when I do get them done, I want to like recognize that I'm able to do it, and adding stuff to my army. So just wanted to go over that. I think maybe some of the stuff has made its way into one video or another, but I'm just going to go over all the stuff that I've painted this year, and kind of just show you that so that they can be highlighted here. So the first thing is going to be these guys here, the Thanatars. So I love robots in an Iron Warrior army because, you know, the Iron Warriors are kind of robots themselves in a way. They're very logical and, you know, mechanical and that kind of stuff. Like those are sort of some big themes in the army. So I like having actual robots present, both in the 28 millimeter and in the 8 millimeter scale as well. So when I saw that you could take the Brothers of Iron detachment for these guys, I was really excited. So I painted up 4 of the Plasma Bombard Thanatars. They're not particularly good, but I do like them for holding backfield objectives. And then when you get those drop potting Space Marines in the backfield, which seems to be an inevitability in the game, you can kind of deal with them a little bit. I have not painted up the las cannon versions, but I'm kind of thinking those also might be good. The las cannon itself is not incredible. It's like kind of the same as just like a Vanquisher cannon, but they also have wrecker weapons, so you can just walk up to buildings and smash them down. So I might actually get around to painting those up sooner rather than later. We'll see. I've also painted up for Damatar. So these are smaller robots. Their defensive stats are pretty similar to the Thanatar, actually. And I like these guys a lot too. There are not yet, anyways, Iron Circle in Legions Imperialis, but I feel like these are like a poor man's Iron Circle. It's the chassis the Iron Circle is based off of, so I figure my Warsmith maybe doesn't have the favor of Perturabo to get access to Iron Circle, but maybe he's able to figure out a way to get a hold of some Damatars. So I do like these guys quite a bit as well. I have not used them to great effect in the game. Oh, that guy's arm's like not quite attached there. That's okay, I'll fix that later. But they're just fun, and I like robots. I just like them. I just think they're neat. I have 2 stands of Vorax. These I painted actually last year because they were part of my forward deploy night detachment at LVO last year. So I love these little guys. I might paint up more. They are a pain to build and a little tough to paint. And you can see these guys actually don't have any hazard stripes on them because I got them built and painted to the hazard stripe stage, and then I was just like, I can't do this. I need to be done with these guys. But I do like how they play. I think they're a lot of fun, very disruptive. I then have a unit of 8 Thalax. And these guys, I absolutely love Thalax in the 28 millimeter game. And so I was really excited when I found out that you could get some for Legions Imperialis for my Iron Warriors. So I painted them up as well. They also don't currently have hazard stripes. I just gave them the yellow gun casings that I use on all my stuff. But if I do a second unit, which I'm debating doing, I'll probably give them hazard stripe shoulder pads so you can tell the two units apart. But yeah, I love the Thalax. They don't last long in the game, mostly because my opponent generally knows that they're fast and they have a bunch of light AT guns and then the melta guns as well. So people pick up that they're a threat and then they end up dying pretty fast, but I do like them quite a bit. Let's see, what else? In the most recent push, the one that inspired me to do this video, I did a bunch of armor. Let's see, over here I have half a box of the Whirlwind Scorpius tanks, so the Whirlwinds specifically. I painted those up. I really like the Whirlwinds. I think they're super useful. You know, often for an Iron Warrior army, I'm trying to knock the buildings down, but if I want to retain a building and just clear it of guys, I've found that ignores cover weapons are better than trying to assault it. So I usually go for some ignores cover missiles or now Whirlwind. So I like those guys quite a bit. In that same batch, I did also paint up a set of the drills. I feel like as an Iron Warrior player, I'm sort of just obligated to take drills. I think the Iron Warriors, it's weird for them, in my mind, to take a lot of drop pods. And so this is really what you would expect their deep striking transport vehicle to be. But I don't like them in the game very much. I don't like that their CAF is super low and their armor is super low. I feel like that doesn't make sense for just what this is. I think it should have a higher CAF or like Wrecker or something. I mean, I don't get why it can drill through the ground, but it can't drill through a building. So that's a little frustrating. I'd pay more points for a transport vehicle with Wrecker, because right now it's just kind of like a deep striking Rhino, and I'm just not thrilled about that. But I did paint them up. I do like them quite a bit. I'm super happy with them. They took a little while to paint up because they have this 5-sided design. And so there's no bottom of the tank that you can ignore. You kind of have to like do all of it. And so I did. And I put transfers on every single door. So each one of these drills has 10 transfers on it. So all 8 was 80 transfers to get all those transfers on. I did a number and I did the symbol. So pretty happy with them. I've only played with them once and they were like, whatever, they're fine. But they're not drop pods. Drop pods are way better. So maybe I just got to get over it and just get some drop pods. But I do like these and I'm happy that they're done. And then the last bit in that push was a bunch of Kratos. So you see I've got quite a few Kratos. I've got 2 units of 3 here. So 3 of the Melta blast guns and 3 of the Kratos battle cannons. These were sort of the ones I painted, well, I should say 4 of them were ones that I painted quite a while ago. I did 2 of each back around the time the game came out. But I quickly realized that 2 is really not enough. So I did like a single sprue off eBay and I built and painted 1 more of each. So I've been playing with 6, 3 of each build. But the Melta blast gun is just not that good, really. I wish it was like 2 shots or something, or it hit on 1 pip better, you know, hit on a 3+ instead of a 4, or had a little more range, something. But it's just so short ranged and 50% hit rate. It's really irritating. Even the Bunker Buster is really nice, but that's really all it's got going for it, and it just always fails to impress. And in addition, I know it doesn't probably matter too much, but I armed them with mixed armament on these ones. The heavy bolter and las cannon combo is not incredible. I did all heavy bolters on these ones, and I could technically swap the turrets. They're all detachable, but they were definitely not seen as like the optimal loadouts. So I decided to get more Kratos. So I ended up getting 7 more. I got 2 boxes, and I think I traded 1 away because the Kratos Commander came out. So a friend of mine wanted 1, so I bought 2 boxes, traded 1 away, so I had 7. So I could do a full unit and a commander. And I did these guys in all las cannons. And partially that's purity of purpose, it makes sense to kind of arm them all with all the same type of weapon. But also because 2 of the formations of Legend are Iron Warrior formations that require you to have Kratos with las cannons, all las cannon sponsons. So now I'm technically correct by doing that. So, and that's the best kind of correct. So I want to make sure that I'm as accurate as possible. I also just like having big bricks of Kratos. I feel like that's a very Iron Warriors thing. And it goes well in the super heavy detachment, which I quite enjoy as a detachment. So I take a big brick of 7 Kratos, and then I can do like 2 bricks of 3 Kratos, which odd numbers are good for morale, and then you have to have 2 or more to get the benefits of the super heavy detachment with the was it Rend and Wrecker. So do that. And it's pretty fun. I also combine it with probably the last things on the list, and I don't recall if these got showcased anywhere else, but I have 4 Typhons and 4 Cerberus tanks as well. And these ones I'm absolutely loving both of them. So the Typhons are great for dropping buildings. I love them to death. And then they're great secondary sort of anti-tank as well. So they're really good, and they are like the Iron Warrior tank option, I feel like. So I'm glad I have those. I'm considering getting a couple more. I don't know. We'll see. A lot of stuff I still have to paint through. And then the Cerberus is just super good with its neutron laser rules, making Titans only shoot 1 weapon, and being forced for anything that gets hit by it to move at half speed. So super duper useful. So I'm really liking those. But yeah, that is the extent of my army. I do need to add some stuff. I've only got 2 units of 8 regular bolter infantry, and I only have 2 plasma guy stands. And that's because when the game first came out, the plasma gun dudes were like terrible, and now they're pretty good. So I need to paint some more of those, and I've got some sitting around somewhere. All my infantry is print infantry, so it's all, I've got 1 unit of Mark IVs, and that's just because my original Iron Warriors were Mark IV from the Betrayal at Calth set, and so I feel like I should add 1 unit of them, but everything else is Mark III for the infantry. I think the jump guys are Mark IV, but everything else that I've owned is Mark III and II. So I should probably add another unit of infantry at the very least. I only have 5 rhinos. These are also printed. I own quite a few of the plastic ones, but I printed these before the game came out. I actually printed a decent sized army before the game came out because I wanted to play when the game first released. So I printed out enough stuff for me and my friend to build Iron Warriors and Imperial Fist armies. And so we actually played a game and learned how to play the rules on the day the game came out, which was a lot of fun. I have 8 missile launcher guys, so I could probably use more of those, but not too many. Maybe 12 is probably enough. And then I do have 2 full units of Terminators, which they're okay. Iron Warriors do have a formation of Legend that gives you better Terminators. Not incredible, but they get Spartan transports, and when they get out, they have better calf, so they're kind of fun. But yeah, so I've got plans for the army for sure. I've got the Saturnine box that I can add to them. I've got, what else? I got more Mastodon. I think I have 4 Mastodons total, which sounds like absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how good that would actually be, but I kind of want to try it. That's another very Iron Warriors thing. But I have more flyers because I've only got 3 currently flyers painted up, but I've got the other half of a Xiphon box that I could paint up for them. And I've got Thunderhawk, and I got all Storm Eagles and all that stuff. So is it Storm Eagle? I don't remember. All the transport options, Fire Raptors, and yeah, Storm Eagle. Stormbird's the big one. Storm Eagle's the little guy. And then I have a bunch of Dreadnoughts. These are print Dreadnoughts that are just a little tubby looking. So I don't use these very often already, so I'm kind of not motivated to build more Dreadnoughts, but I probably should at some point. And definitely some Leviathans and Daredeos, because those are pretty good. But yeah, so watch this space. I will probably do a push of Iron Warrior Legions Imperialis, and probably honestly some Iron Warrior 28 millimeter as well. The friend group is a little excited for Zone Mortalis. We kind of gave 3rd edition Horus Heresy a pass, but Zone Mortalis I think has motivated some people to try it out. So so I'll probably get my 28 mil Iron Warriors out and play some games of that in the very near future. And maybe as part of that, maybe we do a little campaign or something, and I can build some more Legions Imperialis stuff as well. But yeah, so thanks for going through that with me, and I'm gonna cut out now, but I'll come back with the next thing that I am currently working on. Okay. What I'm currently working on, it is ogres for the old world. My gaming group is going to LVO this year. They couldn't go last year because of the schedule change when they had 2. I mean, they did technically go in January, but they didn't go in October. So I was the only one that went in October, and I played some Legions Imperialis. But this year, we got a few people that are going, and so we all kind of agreed on Old World as being our game of choice. And as much as I like my goblins, I don't think they're really super competitive. Not that ogres are either, but I wanted something that sort of had fewer models, sort of a little more simple, less reliance on scatter die and templates and things like that. And I've always liked the ogres. And ogres are incredibly cheap if you know where to look, because they're kind of an older army in Age of Sigmar until, you know, a couple months ago when the refresh came about. But you will often find their 2 spearhead boxes, either the one with the Tyrant, this guy, which is the older version, or the one with the Hunter, who is what technically a Warhammer Underworld's warband, but it's like the Hunter and his what do you call it, Saber Tusk and some Noblars. Both of those, you can find them insanely cheap. I got, around Christmas time, I got the newer of the 2 with the Hunter for like, I don't know, 55% retail at a store because they just couldn't move it. So I got it insanely cheap. And my army is basically 3 spearhead boxes knocked together, and then I've traded for a few things and found, like, I got this Fire Belly for real cheap at a store that was selling used minis. He's like $10, you know, for a fine cast guy. He's fine. His hammer handle on his little hammer thing is like slightly bent because he's resin, and I left him the first day I got him, I left him in my hot car, so it's a little wobbly, but I'm fine with it. And like this guy who needs some rescuing for sure, I literally got this guy for $1. One of my friends in my gaming group was just sick of dealing with him, and I was buying some Chaos Space Marines, and he's like, I'll throw this in for $1. So I'm like, okay, cool. He's got the single seat, so he can't do the like two dude setup, but he can be a character. And the character is supposed to be mounted at the front, but I don't have the front piece, so he's just gonna be mounted farther back with a long weapon, and then I just have to fill this somehow, and then probably fill some gaps in this for, but yeah, $1 for this, who, if it's, you know, Tyrant mounted on there, I can find him a base. I mean, that's like 500 points for $1. So super cheap army, I feel like. So don't sleep on ogres if you're interested in playing Old World. I don't think they're particularly good. They're okay. They can hit really hard. These guys can be real gnarly. Yeah, so I don't know. So I'm gonna try them. They're my second army. I can start as I paint them. I can start using them as Badland Ogre mercenaries in my Orcs and Goblins, or technically in any army. They're available for every army. And then as I build them up, I can switch over and play ogres and have Orcs and Goblins as allies until I can get the rest of the ogres painted. So I have some options. You know, if I don't finish this painting project, I can take Orcs and Goblins and then just load up on ogre mercenaries, no problem. So it's a thought. We'll see. So this is the state they're currently in. I've got sand down all the bases. I have sprayed them Peachy Peach from Color Forge sprays. So I went through quite a bit of that. One thing I've noticed about Color Forge, I do like them a lot. I have one very small gripe, and that is where I'm at, it's very hot and very dry, and their labels peel off like crazy. They do this even inside, although I do have a habit of leaving spray cans outside as well, and they just do it faster, but they do it even inside. And I think that's because these two ends don't actually meet. And it's like, dude, Color Forge, just like pay for 1/2 inch more of label and this won't happen. You know, if you could overlap the two labels so this doesn't happen, that'd be great, because I'm going in with packing tape and like fixing this, and it feels silly. So I don't know. But as far as the actual product, very good. I love Color Forge, and Peachy Peach is a great color. I've got an extra can just in case they stop doing this signature series. But I absolutely love it for flesh. It's what I used for my giant that I did a few videos back. And I'm gonna do it for these guys. These guys are basically just gonna get the giant treatment, just in miniature. So one thing I am thinking about though is changing up the bases, how I paint the bases. And so I have some little tester 32 mil bases, because I got like a bajillion of these. So I'm gonna try a couple of different paint schemes today and see what I like. And then I'm gonna start just slopping paint on these guys. So they're gonna get, you know, probably 5 colors real quick. They'll get a base color, they'll get the blocking the skin color, they'll get a pant color, they'll get a leather color, they'll get some metallics. And that'll be the start. And then I'll just go in and just start picking out details and doing highlights and washes and stuff as I go. This guy I'm saving for a little bit later because he's obviously a little more challenging, so I kind of want to get some of the basics under my belt. So I'll probably like start with these guys, maybe do a character, go to these guys, work on him, and then I've got another one. This guy in box, I got this for like 30 bucks somewhere, because again, ogres are pretty cheap if you know where to look. And so he's gonna be sort of my last unit that I add, because I kind of want to do two stone horns. I think that would be pretty ridiculous and a lot of fun. So he's gonna be my actual general, and I'm gonna do him up, but I'm gonna kind of practice on this guy first. So if I can get through all of this before the first week of October, that's going to be incredible. If I can't, I'll probably be playing goblins with some ogre allies. But my goal is to get all this done. So we'll see. I usually work best under the gun when I've got a time constraint. So I am hoping that will help motivate me. But I am also going back and doing grad school this fall, and work has also picked up quite a bit. So we'll see. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting. I'm gonna try to make more shorter videos, more frequent shorter videos about the progress of this army, so that one, it'll keep me in check and accountable, and also so any of you who are interested can kind of keep tabs on what's going on here. So yeah, so with that, I'll get to painting. I'm gonna be working on this army today and tomorrow. It's the weekend. And then I'm gonna try to squeeze a little bit of time in every day of the week between now and LVO, unless I finish it early, which I doubt, but I'm gonna try. So this is my primary focus. So wish me luck. All right, with that, I'm gonna check out, and I will see you in the next video.